And so our last award recipient this evening, you heard a little bit from her this afternoon, and she's going to share a little bit of her journey with you. She is our Radical Success Institute Shining Star Award winner. And Tosh Patterson came into the Success Institute in our entrepreneurial program last year at this conference. And at that time, she didn't really have a business, and she knew that she wanted to move out of her corporate job and into something that she was passionate about, something that could give her flexibility, income, and still be able to serve the type of clients that she wanted to serve. And she worked really hard this past year to make those goals become a reality. And so I just want her to come up and share a few moments about her story, and then we'll give her her award. Come on up, Tosh.
Last year, as I mentioned earlier, Doreen gave the opportunity for us to enroll in the entrepreneurial program, the Radical Success Institute, and I took that on. And as I've been reflecting on what I accomplished this past year, it is just absolutely amazing to acknowledge myself for what I've done, because this award prompted me to acknowledge the hard work, time, energy, commitment that I put into this, because like many of you in the room, you may still be working full time and trying to build a business, and that's what I'm up to right now. And I have to say this for myself, right? So I just really want to take a moment to say that not only did I work full time, but I managed to get on, and I don't know nobody, y'all. Like, I don't know people, but I managed to find 5 radio shows that wanted to hear my message, 2 television shows. I found 2 online magazines that I contribute to. Just last month, and you don't know this yet, but someone invited me to have the cover of their magazine to recognize where I am and what I'm doing. That's so powerful, because I was sitting in the audience last year. So I'm a testimony that if you can do it, if I can do it, you can do it. And it's been the biggest return on investment ever to be a part of this program. And so, you know, the reality is that we all have a dream that we're going for. And you have to just jump in. And I'm somebody who plans and plots and strategizes, and that's what my 9-to-5 gig is. That's how I shot up the corporate ladder by the time I was 30, because I could plan and plot and figure it out and work late, and this isn't that. So I'm in a whole new skin. And when I took this on last year, joining this program, I said, I want to be someone I don't know myself to be. I want to be someone I don't know myself to be, and that's what this past year has been. I've been someone I don't know myself to be. But before this moment, right here, right now, I was struggling, y'all. Anybody else struggling? Okay, I got my sisters out here. And I was struggling not only what I wanted to do professionally, but struggling in my own life, struggling. So my struggle, and we all have our struggles, but my struggle has always been around my weight in particular. And I basically, my whole life had been on diets. I mean, I was on the diet for a decade. Who can relate to that? Anybody? Okay, so from 10 years old, I was on my first diet until now. And so I struggled with my weight so much. I would go up the scale, down the scale, up the scale, down the scale. So back in 2010, I was in a personal development class, and the instructor is in the front of the room, and he says, what's one area of your life that you haven't been willing to take responsibility for? What's one area of your life that if you took responsibility for it, your life would shift? And my 200 plus almost 300-pound body was the answer to that question. I had 32 years of not accepting responsibility for my health and well-being. And there was a gravity to that. So I invite you to consider the same question. What is it that you haven't been willing to accept responsibility for, that if you accept responsibility for it, something in your life could shift? So in that moment, I said, okay, it's time for me to take responsibility for my health and well-being. And for me, at that point in time, I thought that meant, because I had struggled with my weight for so long, I really thought that meant I have done the cabbage diet, the soup diet, the grapefruit diet. Y'all looking at me like you don't know. Who has done those diets, right? The cabbage diet, all of them. And I had some success, but it never lasted. And I said, you know what? I've been dealing with this for 33 years. I need more help. So I thought that help looked like weight loss surgery. I had weight loss surgery. I woke up from that, thank goodness. And fast forward 7 months, and I was sicker than sick. The surgery did not solve my problem, and it didn't work on me. And I know it does work for some people, but it did not work for me. I couldn't keep down food. I was throwing up. It was awful. It was painful. It was more painful than the 300-pound body that I had already lived in. I lost 30 pounds after putting my life on the line with weight loss surgery. So I was at a crossroads, and I said, it didn't work. It did not work. That was my solution, and I already told y'all I'm a planner, I'm a plotter. I had figured this out. I had done my due diligence. This was the answer. And well, it was not the answer. And so at that crossroads, the universe opened up to me a doctor friend that I met through someone else who took me by the hand and said, let me teach you about the power of fruits and vegetables, about removing processed foods from your diet, about eliminating the sugar that you're taking in. And do you know, I applied those methods to my life, and in 7 months, I lost 70 pounds. But here's the kicker. I was so confronted to be seen in my new body, so confronted by that attention that I started eating again because I was not ready to be seen. I was not ready to be bright. So how many of you are in the audience tonight not ready to be bright? Not ready to shine? I see some hands back there. So I ate because I needed to be in the body I had been in because I was scared. I was scared to step out of those shoes into a new person. And so I had an aha moment, and I got all of a sudden that it was never really about the weight. And Jillian said that earlier, and I never heard her say that. That it's not about the weight, it's about what's underneath. And what was underneath that was I didn't feel good enough. I didn't feel pretty enough. I didn't feel smart enough, even though I had a master's degree. And I didn't feel accomplished enough, even though I had gone to 17 countries. And I didn't feel rich enough because I didn't have enough money in the bank, whatever that meant. I didn't feel like I was enough. And so I got that it wasn't about the weight. So I decided that this time, when I lose the weight, yeah, the number on the scale is important, and we need to be healthy, and that matters. But it's about creating a life that I love. And we all deserve to live a life that we love, and we have to actively create it. So I'm not in that 300-pound space, and I'm back down the scale. And I was really confronted in the Radical Success Institute because, as I shared with you earlier, Doreen said, "Are you going to be you're going to be a health and wellness coach?" And you know, people have expectations about what you look like. And I was so confronted because it drove up. You're not good enough. You don't look the right way. And I said, screw it. I have the audacity to be the space for other women to be healthy and well and vibrant. And you can get there as fast or as slow as you want to. And so that's who I am for people. That's who I want to be for the world, for women, to really step into being well and eating well and living well. It's such a simple concept, but it's so important. And so I call myself the chief healthinista of be well, eat well, and live well. Not because I'm a size 4, but because I know the journey. Because I'm not talking to you from who I am right now, belly and all. I'm talking to you from who I will be. And so I'm really ready to introduce us to a new conversation. And I wrote a whole nother speech, but I was just so touched in this moment that I just said to you what was on my heart. But I do want to share this one little thing with you. And I was really giving a lot of thought and time and energy to like really who I am, who I be. That's what Allison was saying earlier, right? Who I be to the world, to my avatar, to my audience, to my peeps, okay? Who am I? Who is it that I want to be for them? So I want to share with you who I am going to be and who I am being for the people that I want to touch. So I am a healthy mind-body solution for women struggling with yo-yo dieting and binge eating. I am the voice for those living in the dark shadows of shame, guilt, confusion, and embarrassment about their bodies. I am the midwife for a new conversation in the world, giving birth to women who want to stop hiding, stop people-pleasing, stop second-guessing, and stop living life with apology. I want to give hope to those who feel unseen, unheard, and unwanted. I want to give hope for a new day, a new beginning, and a bold declaration. And that's who I am. And I thank you for allowing me to be not only who I am in this moment, but who I will be in the future. And Doreen, thank you for the acknowledgement of the progress that I've made so far this year. And I know that there's so much more. And I invite all of you, if you felt touched by that, to join me in my Healthinista movement, to invite a new conversation into our circles, into our communities, into our lives. Thank you.